All right, what's going on, everybody? So I am back in Kansas. Got here yesterday, spent the day scouting yesterday. Man, I found some good stuff. I found some super fresh dugout scrapes, good rubs, very condensed, patternable movement. And the cameras did not disappoint. The cameras were loaded. So 4 of those were on a 3-week soak. One of them was right around a 5-week soak. And so there's definitely some good stuff on there. A few shooters actually. A few shooters. A couple of them are real dandies. But so that's very exciting. So I got that done yesterday. Really figured out that's my #1 location. So this morning, my plan was to sleep in a little bit, rest up from the week, and get out here and check these 2 cameras that I set end of August. I haven't checked these 2 cameras yet, so I'm super pumped about this. They're on a 7-week soak, so who knows what's going to be on those and what kind of deer movement's going to be back here. This spot is slightly easier to access, and I can tell that the private property owner across the fence more than likely does his share of hunting. So unsure about what this is going to show, but when I originally came out here, I loved what I saw. So I'm going to get back here, see what's going on, and figure out where I need to be set up come Monday for that cold front. It's going to be a fantastic week after this weekend. Spend the next couple of days scouting, figure out where I need to be, and go in for the kill. So let's get out there. Let's see what today has to offer. Well, the last couple of days of scouting has been more than successful. I have found exactly what I'm after, put together a solid game plan, came up here early on purpose, used these hot days, high wind, to get in and get out, check the cameras, and nothing disappointed. I am on some hot sign, and I am super stoked about what the next couple of days have to offer. So I got breakfast cooking, prepping it for 3 days out. I'm getting all my gear ready, and I'm just going to relax, get to bed, and hard hunting starts tomorrow. So I'm stoked. Let's see what happens the next couple days. All right, it is day 3 here on my trip here to Kansas, and I went out hunting this morning. Got a little learning experience for you, learning experience on my own. I didn't go with my knowledge and my gut. I got excited to go sit in a tree, and rather than sleeping in, going to the laundromat, and then coming in midday, get that stand set and all, I went ahead and went in this morning. So the reason I wanted to go midday and sleep in was because this morning was going to be a little bit warmer than all the other mornings, and I didn't want to spook for a slight movement. So pull the card on my camera. I said on Friday, not only do I have a real solid 9-point on camera, I'm pretty stoked about him. He's a regular. So, but I also had a doe walking by that scrape probably 20 minutes before I came by this morning. So real early in the morning, way before first light. So that's why I didn't want to go in there. So fingers crossed I didn't spook her. But in the meantime, I've been sweating a lot the last few days. I know I soaked a shirt on my way in this morning, and I did my best to change and wrap it up in my scent lock as best I can. The only thing though is I was so sweaty that it got a lot of stuff wet, and you get your scent lock wet and it doesn't work as well. So I think I got busted by 2 young bucks. All smell. They didn't know I was there. They kind of wandered off. After that second buck, I got the heck out of there, because I'm like, all right, something's wrong. I never get busted that bad, and if those little dudes were getting me, I was gonna do no good by staying sitting there. So I got the heck out of Dodge, made my way quick but extremely quietly. Try not to mess up things any more than I already did, because tomorrow is when things get good. So I will burn a day today and be in there tomorrow. So it goes right back to, you know, our idea of you can't kill them while on the couch. Well, I mean, that's right, but at the same time, you can really mess up your spot and crush the opportunity at a very mature deer by being overzealous and pushing a bad hunt and pushing bad weather, especially this early in October. We're not to the rut yet, so we got to be very smart about our sits and very precise. So I knew better. I didn't listen to my gut, but you know, it is what it is. I got excited. So, and I made my way out of there. So I saw those 3 bucks. Other than that, it was pretty slow. Not, you know, surprised by that. So, about to head to the laundromat. Gonna get the clothes done. And then I'm coming back to camp. I'm gonna be ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow's cold front is going to be awesome. 35 in the morning. And I think it's gonna be mid-50s as highs. So we're gonna have a stellar cold front. So stay tuned. Day 4 is on its way. All right, it is day 5 of my trip here in Kansas. I've collected a lot of data, saw quite a few deer, saw probably 6 or 7 does already this morning and a small buck. Yesterday evening saw that 2.5-year-old 8-point. Decent deer. It's nice to see some antler, that's for sure. I'm really learning how the wind is working on this particular location. I've got a lot of ditches and deep ravines, very steep hill ridges here, so the wind has a funny swirl to it and it's going different directions. So I'm just figuring it out using my milkweed and learning the property. That way, once the rut starts to kick in a little bit more, I can come in here super educated and ready to go. So I'm gonna get down here. It's about a little after 11 now. I've been freezing all morning. It's straight up cold. And make a move to a different location. Keep checking the wind as I go and really learning. And then the plan is to hunt tomorrow morning and then pack up and leave, or check cameras while I'm out here and then leave. So let's get down, let's make a move. Alright, so I'm set up in my new spot. It's a fantastic ambush here. I set up on the ridge just a little bit on this point. The bucks come down that main point. I've got quite a few pictures of them, daylight. It looks like probably they're bedding just on the other side of the fence up on private land, probably a couple 100 yards away. And this is about as close of a funnel as I can get to them. Wind's not bad. I kind of like this spot. I'm gonna be cutting the wind just ever so slightly off to the side. So fingers crossed we're good. But I got quite a bit of scraping behind me. Set a camera up on that on Friday. I haven't checked it yet, but that's a couple 100 yards behind me as well. So there's a lot of stuff going on. There's more scraping up on top of that ridge. So I'm kind of right here in kind of a pinch point here. The creek also has water. This part of the ditch has water. I'm thinking this is a little tiny spring right here because the rest of it is dry. Further down is dry, further up is dry. So I'm thinking I got a little spring here, which right now in the drought, water is key. So we're gonna settle in, sit tight, and see what the evening has to offer. We're getting towards the end of the trip here, so it's been a good trip so far. Learned a lot. Let's see if we can shoot something. Alright, well that concludes this trip here in Kansas. It was a very good trip, very knowledgeable trip. I learned a lot about how the deer use that location specifically, where the main bedding areas are, how the wind works in that specific location, and a few of the other spots that I had planned out for tree stand locations. And the access I love walking that ditch all the way in. It keeps me down low. You know, visually, I'm pretty hidden. Noise-wise is not bad at all, so I can get in and out of there. And really, the only deer I was spooking where I was right on top of them. So that's just bad luck in itself. So, got some very solid deer on camera, especially that one 10-point, real wide deer. Super heavy, mature buck. I mean, that dude probably weighs 270 on the hoof. I mean, he's a tank. Very, very nice deer. A few other very solid deer. I saw a lot of deer this weekend. There's a lot of deer I couldn't get on camera because of the cedars. It was thick and they were on top of me, and they were moving very cautiously, especially this morning when that wind was low. I've noticed that when the wind gets real low like that, those deer, they move so cautiously. So I love it when I get a little bit of a breeze. They tend to be a little bit more free to move and not so slow and looking around, smelling and listening for anything possible in the woods. So it was a great weekend. I froze. It was stinking cold this weekend. It felt like winter. 20 degrees here in October. What? Absolutely love it. Of course, it's going to be, 80s this weekend, right? Of course. So, time to get back to do some scouting. Going to let this property sit for a couple weeks, let my intrusions settle, and see if I can't locate a couple bucks in Missouri. So, feel very confident going into the rut, further into the pre-rut, and then the rut here in Kansas. Love this location. I'm ready to go. So, thanks for watching, guys. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next video.